Hi guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, today I've made a card using the Flowing Flowers stamp set. This is a stamp set I fell in love with the moment I saw it in the catalog and couldn't wait to get it. And I finally have been able to make a card with it. So if you'd like to stamp along with me, just look down in the video description below and click on the blog post link. And then once you get there, you'll get the supply list and you'll get all the dimensions you need to make this card. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first off, I want to show you the stamp set. This is the Flowing Flowers. Can you see why I fell in love with it as soon as I got it? When I saw those flowers, I'm like, oh, I love this. So I got it as soon as I could. And the stamps that you're going to be using, you're going to be using the big flower here, this one here, and we're going to be using the thank you. And those are the only stamps that we're going to be using. Now we are going to be using a brand new embossing folder. This is a gingham folder, so you want to get that out. And I'm also using some dies that are from the annual catalog. These are the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And we're going to be using the second to largest scallop rectangle die. Okay, let's get some stamping done first. I'm going to grab a piece of basic white. This is 6 1/4 by 3 inch piece. And I'm going to first grab the big flower here and stamp it with Calypso Coral. And the colors I'm using come from the Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper. So I'll be showing you that here in just a minute. So get this inked up real good. I'm going to stamp it here on the left side. And while I've got this stamp out, let's go ahead and put this paper up here. Let's grab the piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to stamp this one more time, the big flower. And we'll put it right here, kind of at an angle here in the bottom left corner. But don't you just love the detail in that? Once again, this is I think this is a distinctive stamp set if I remember right. I'm sure it is because of all the detail. I love stamping once and you get all of that, the dark shading, the light shading, just gorgeous. So let's go ahead and grab, oh, no, we'll keep the Calypso Coral out, but you're going to want to grab the soft Succulent ink pad too. So let's go ahead and open both of these up. We'll grab this piece of paper again. And then I want you to grab the flower that also has leaves, okay? Now, we're not going to worry about the little dots that are around it because we're going to be fussy cutting this out and we're not going to be using any of those. So I want you to grab a sponge dauber for Calypso Coral and one for Soft Succulent. Ink this up. And wherever the flower is, just pounce on it with color until it's covered up. And it doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you get on these little dots over here. No big deal. We're going to be cutting those off anyway. Try not to get on the leaf, but if you get on it a little bit, it's okay. Make sure you get that center inked up. Okay, that looks pretty good. We've got our soft succulent now. And I'm going to pounce on the leaves. Now, it's easier to see the soft succulent. The Calypso Coral is a little harder to see because it almost looks like the same color as the rubber. But just make sure you cover completely, and if it looks wet, then you've got it. Okay, now that I've got all the ink on there, to make sure that all the ink is still moist, I'm going to huff on it. The way you do that, you put your hand around it and then huff like you do to clean your glasses to get them moist. There we go. So now I know that's all moist again. Stamp this on. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? I love the leaves on that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, now we need to stamp one more thing. So we'll go ahead and grab a piece of basic white that's 4 by 2 3/4. We're done with these ink pads, so we'll get these out of the way. It's nice to have them closed so they don't dry up, but it also makes it so you don't accidentally drop something on it and ruin what you're working on. So grab a crumb cake ink pad and get the thank you stamp. And I'm going to stamp it over towards the right and center. Don't worry if it's not perfect because we're going to be die cutting this out. So that is all the stamping we're going to do. Now we'll put this to the side because this is going to be die cut. And this is the inside of your card, so put that to the side. Now there are no dies, so I'm going to be fussy cutting these out. They're not that hard to fussy cut. If you've seen my videos, I don't fussy cut a lot. But when I do, it really looks pretty, and I usually make it so they aren't really hard to cut out. So when you use scissors to get the nice curves around it instead of a choppy look, you want to move the scissors more than you move I'm sorry, move the paper more than you want to move the scissors. I started saying that the opposite I wanted to. So see how I'm not moving the scissors that much. When I need to open them back up again to get them going, just stop moving the paper, open up the scissors again. But let the paper do all the moving and barely move the scissors. You're really just squeezing them together so they can cut. But that gives you nice, smooth curves. So we'll go ahead and fussy cut these all out. I'm going to do this off camera and I'll be back. So you go ahead and pause the video and keep cutting yours out and then come back. Okay, I've got these all cut out. I did want to show you how I left behind those dots that I colored by accident. You can see those right here. So you've just got your flower. There may be a little few dots over here, but that's okay. I didn't want to cut too much and lose my leaves. So now we've got those fussy cutted. Now we want to get our die cutting machine out to die cut our little rectangle and to do some embossing. Okay, to get ready for die cutting with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, we want the platform number 1. Then we need the die plate number 2. And a standard cutting plate number 3. And we're going to grab that piece where we stamp the thank you. And we're going to put this scallop die here. And we want this to kind of be centered up and down, but over on the right side. And whenever I do a rectangle piece, I try to make it so the corner goes in first. And that way it doesn't pop as much, it cuts better, it doesn't hurt your machine, and it helps the die from getting warped too. Now that looks pretty straight to me. I might pop it up just a little bit more. That looks pretty good. Maybe move it over that way. There we go. Now I'll put this on top, nice and easy. I'm not going to worry about taping it down, since we're not having to have it be right around an image. So we're all done die cutting there. Isn't that neat? I love the font on this. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do some embossing, and it's going to be a regular folder. It's not a 3D folder. So all you need is platform number 1. And a standard cutting plate. And here's the Gingham Embossing Folder. So we'll just put this piece of crumb cake. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece. And I'm going to line the bottom edge with the straight line here at the bottom of the folder. And we want to put it in fold first. So we'll lay this here. Put this one on top. You put it in fold first because it helps protect your embossing folder. You don't want that fold to get all torn up. And believe me, I've had that happen to a folder before I knew we had to do it that way. Take this out, and then we've got this really neat gingham. So we're all done with the embossing machine. Let's go ahead and finish this card. Okay, let's go ahead and grab that crumb cake piece that we just embossed. And then once you grab a piece of the Symbols of Fortune DSP, this is a 2 inch by 4 inch piece. And if you haven't seen all the designs in this paper, it is gorgeous. What you want to do, I show all of the designs. I didn't want to do it in this video because it'd make it too long, but I did an unboxing video. It's my take 2. So it's my second unboxing video that I did. And I will put a link to it up in the top right corner and also down the video description. And if you fast forward up to the 8-minute and 5-second mark, you'll get to see all this beautiful paper. Now you can watch the whole video to see everything I show off, because I show off some other designer series paper so you can see the designs. But if you just want to see this one, go to the 8-minute and 5-second mark. Okay, so we'll take this 2 by 4 inch piece, put some adhesive. I'm just going to put it all the way across the top and bottom, and then a couple little strips here on the sides. Make sure our butterflies look pretty good in the flowers. They're kind of going every which way. I've got that one going that way, but I think, yep, I like this better. So we are going to put this right here on the left side. I'm turning it a little bit so I can see that I'm getting this lined up right. So I'm putting it right along the edge. Okay, now I want you to grab a piece of this beautiful soft succulent satin ribbon. Oh, I don't know if the video is doing it justice. It is so pretty, and I really love this soft succulent color. It's one of my favorite greens. Now, normally I put glue dots in the back of these, but since this is kind of wide, I thought it might be a little better this time to use my seal. That glue dot may not hold. I could put 2 glue dots on it, but I thought I'll just use my seal this time. Now I'm just going to cover up a little bit of that edge because I don't want the crumb cake showing on the left side of the ribbon. Bring this around, and then I hold it like this to make sure that this looks all straight and the ribbon's not cockeyed like this. That's how I can tell if I got it straight. The embossing also helps a little bit too. You can kind of look at that. There we go. So we've got that ready to go. Let's grab the card base. This is a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 inch piece. And get my bone folder out. We're going to line up both corners, or all four corners together actually. 2 over here, 2 over here. And that'll make it so it lines up nice and straight and you get it folded right in half. So we're going to have the fold on top because this is a landscape card. Let's get some adhesive on the back of here. I'm going to put, and I always make sure I put some seal on the back of the ribbon too, because I don't want that to pop up where the ribbon's at. We don't need this falling off, especially if we want to mail it to somebody. Now we're going to put this right in the center on top. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's bring our thank you rectangle out and our flowers. This is just going to go on with regular seal. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way across those short sides. When they're not real wide, I'll go all the way across. Now this one, I'm centering it up and down again, but kind of putting it over here on the right. Okay, that looks pretty good. And so it does go over the ribbon a little bit. I'm going to go like this and see if it looks straight. That's pretty good. Now I think I might have gotten it down a little farther, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's fine. I can lift that up and put it up, but it's going to be just fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Now I'm going to lay my flowers where I want them first. And I kind of like this top one angled going this way and this one down here. And it's okay to show a little bit of the rectangle down here. I kind of like this closer to the thank you. Just keep playing around. I think that looks pretty good. Now this one is going to be popped up with dimensionals, the one with the leaves. So we're going to lay that there. Let's lift this one up. We'll put some seal on it, holding this down, but holding it down here. That way I can kind of slide this underneath, get it back where I had it before I push it down too hard. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so that's down. Now I'm going to put some dimensionals on here because I wanted it to pop up a little bit. I'm going to put 2 along the top part and probably just 1 right here, and that should hold it just fine and keep it from wobbling on me. Grab my Take Your Pick tool to get those paper backings off. I love how they go right on here, and I can put them right in my trash and they're not flying all over the place. Okay, now we're going to kind of lay this down without pushing it down again because I want to make sure I get it right back where I had it. Let's see. And that's one thing with the dimensionals. Once you push it down, it is very hard to get them off again. But if you just lay them down, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to push them down. Now they're on there. They're going to stay. So we've got the front all done. Isn't that? Oh, I love those flowers. I'm going to be doing more with this set, believe me. Now here's the inside that we stamped earlier. All we have to do is put this on the inside of the card and we're done. So this one, there is some fussy cutting. You don't have to color. And the fussy cutting's not too bad, and it doesn't take too long to make. I love it when a card doesn't take too long to make, but looks really pretty. And it's a stamp set that makes it look so pretty. And that paper, I love. This is probably my favorite design in that paper too. So I hope you enjoyed today's card. And if you'd like to stamp with me again, please subscribe by clicking that subscribe button below. And then when that bell icon pops up, select all, click on the bell, and then select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video and you won't miss anything. Now, if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours, and I'd love to send out your first set of catalogs for free. So here's a current annual catalog, the January to June mini catalog, and this is where the flowing flower stamp set came from, and the designer series paper, the ribbon, and the Gingham Embossing Folder. And here's a celebration brochure. You don't want to miss celebration. You get free stuff when you place at least a $50 order. And if you want to find out more about celebration, just look down in that video description again and click on the celebration page link, and that'll let you know everything about it, including the best deal of celebration. That's joining my team. You get you only pay $99. You get $125 for the product. You get a free paper pumpkin kit, you get business supplies, you get free shipping, and if you sign up by February 28th of 2022, you get to pick 2 current stamp sets out of either one of these catalogs right here, except for the host sets. The celebration sets are not part of the deal. But oh, it's such a great deal. You would not for $99. That's wonderful. So if you'd like to join my team, just click that join my team to find out about it. You won't be, when you click on it, it doesn't make you automatically join. It'll let you get the information on joining. If you have any questions, just click that contact me link below. and tell me, give me your question. And if you're wanting the catalogs, give me your mailing address and I'll get those mailed out to you right away. So let's go ahead and get these out of the way and show you the card one more time. I want to thank you so much for watching my video, and please support my channel by giving me a thumbs up or commenting below. I really, really do appreciate it. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.